Yum yum, these fish are delicious, fresh and right out of Ramsey Lake.
Yep, you're a really good fisherman. I haven't bought groceries in a year.
What? We're only supposed to eat 8 fish out of Ramsey Lake a year? We're living off that stuff. Blech.
Maybe we should fix our lifestyle then. Maybe that would explain your skin rash and headaches, like they wrote about in the book. Perhaps we do have high levels of heavy metals in our blood.
This is nonsense. I'll bet you $50 that on our blood test this weekend, the levels of heavy metals in our blood will be just fine.
Your heavy metal levels are despicably large. Get out of here and don't look at me, you big fat metal eater.
$50, please.
Okay, well what are we gonna do to get that stuff out of our bodies?
First off, we're gonna stop eating so much fish like psychotic bears.
Doctor, why do the fish have metals in them anyways?
Well, it's kind of a long story.
Well, it all started when a prospector found a significant ore body in the Garrison area and developed a mine. The smelting process was so crude and uncontrolled back then that it spewed heavy metals and other toxins into the surrounding area. The unrefined ore was melted on large beds of trees for weeks at a time until it became molten hot. This released many heavy metals we find today in our soils. Since then, the smelting and refining process has become much safer. However, the damage has already been done, and our soils are still filled with heavy metals and sulfur, which renders it acidic.
What's that got to do with anything?
The acidity of the soil makes the plants much less tolerant to heavy metal pollution, which they pick up. Much of the heavy metals have landed in the numerous lakes in the Sudbury Basin. The water has become so contaminated that the fish are absorbing dangerous levels of heavy metals. If we eat too many fish out of our lakes, we may suffer from symptoms like skin rash, headaches, low blood sugar, shortness of breath, and even heart failure.
What can we do about it?
Liming the soil decreases the acidity, which makes metals less available to the plants, taking it out of our food chain and locking it away. But to remove them from the soil completely, there is another solution. Plants. Certain plants, called hyperaccumulators, are capable of taking up large concentrations of heavy metals and storing them in the parts of the plant we do not eat. So if farmers in highly contaminated regions were to include plants such as canola and sunflower into their crop rotation, then large amounts of heavy metals would be taken up, improving produce quality for farmers. Since heavy metals don't make it into the seeds, farmers could sell these high-profit crops. The byproducts of the farming, however, would have to be sent to facilities which can convert them into energy by utilizing denitrifying bacteria to produce natural gas, used in barbecues and fireplaces, but can also be used in generators for electricity. Otherwise, the heavy metals stored within the plants would be released back into the soil.
So that would stop the runoff?
Yes, because you see, the mining companies have done a great job on reducing emissions. So the vast majority of the pollution comes from the previously existing metal in soil and water. If we take the pollution out of the soil, all that is left is in the water and air, which will settle down over time and could possibly end up in our soil, where we can tidy it up easily. We can also lime the lakes as well to counter the acidity from sulfur contamination, but that's a story for another time.